Good evening, all. Today we continue our discussion. We were discussing the transportation in plants and we had just understood the concept of translocation. So let us see how the food and other substances are transported in the plant. Now, as we know already that there is one xylem and a phloem, and the xylem takes care of the transportation of water, and phloem takes helps the plant in the translocation of sucrose. Okay, so we will see the diagram. We'll try to understand what is it. Translocation takes place in the sieve tubes. Now, there is something called as a sieve tube in the plants with the help of adjacent companion cells. Okay, both in upward and downward directions. Xylem transport occurs mainly by simple physical forces, but for the translocation and phloem, energy is utilized. Material like sucrose is transferred into phloem using energy from ATP. This increases the osmotic pressures of the tissue, causing water to move into it. This pressure moves the material in the phloem to tissues. Example, in the spring, sugar stored in root or stem is transported to the buds which need energy to grow. So this is just a simple transport of food and other substances or transportation or translocation in plants. Let's go ahead and try to understand the last part of this chapter, that is the excretion. What is excretion? So in excretion, what all constitutes the excretory organs of the human body? First of all, the kidneys. We have a pair of kidneys. Kidney is a bean-shaped organ. Okay. We have a ureter. We have urinary bladder. We have urethra. Okay. That is the excretion in the human body. Excretion is the process of removal of harmful metabolic nitrogenous wastes from the body. Unicellular organisms remove this waste by simple diffusion from body surface into surrounding water. Complex multicellular organisms use specialized organs for excretion. Now let us see. Human excretory system constitutes a pair of kidney, as I said, a pair of ureters. These are the ureters, a urinary bladder, and a urethra. Left renal artery, left kidney, left renal vein, aorta, left ureter, vena cava, urinary bladder, and urethra. Kidneys are located in the abdomen, one on either side of the backbone. The purpose of making urine. Why is urine made in the human body? The purpose of making urine. What is the purpose? The purpose of making urine is to filter out waste products from the blood. In the kidneys, nitrogenous waste such as urea or uric acid are removed from blood. Now let us see. Each kidney has large number of filtration units called nephrons packed close together. This is kidney, this is ureter, urinary bladder, and urethra. This is the structure of a nephron. These are the capillaries. This is the branch of renal vein. This is a collecting duct. This is tubular part of nephron. These are the glomerulus, Bowman's capsule, and branch of renal artery. Each kidney has large number of filtration units called nephrons packed close together. Okay, each kidney has large number of filtration units called nephrons packed close together. At the end of each nephron, this is the structure of nephron. At the end of each nephron, a cup-shaped structure called Bowman's capsule is seen. This is the Bowman's capsule. Okay, Bowman's capsule is seen. It encloses a cluster of very thin-walled blood capillaries called glomerulus. In glomerulus, blood is filtered and Bowman's capsule collects the filtrate. Okay. Now let's move ahead. Glomerulus, filtrate, capillary. In selective reabsorption, sodium amino acids and glucose are reabsorbed from the filtrate back into the blood. Glucose, amino acids, salts, and major amount of water in the initial filtrate are selectively reabsorbed as the urine flows along the tube. In a healthy adult, the initial filtrate is about 180 liter daily. However, only 1 to 2 liter a day is excreted out because the remaining filtrate is reabsorbed in the kidney tubules. Water is reabsorbed based on amount of excess water in the body and amount of dissolved waste is to be excreted. Excretion in human beings, okay. The urine from each kidney enters a long tube called ureter, which then passes to urinary bladder and stores in it. As the bladder expands, pressure increases that leads to the urge to urinate through the urethra. The bladder is muscular, so it is under nervous control. As a result, we can control the urge to urinate. Okay, I hope this is clear till here. Now, the last concept in this chapter is the concept of dialysis. What is dialysis? Now, what happens that sometimes a person's kidney stops to work or stops to function. So sometimes they go for a donor, or a few times their kidney is not working to such an extent that they need to take dialysis. This is a person who is taking dialysis. Dialysis is an artificial kidney. Okay, it's a process. So kidney failure leads to accumulation of poisonous waste in the body. In this case, an artificial kidney is used. It is a device to remove nitrogenous waste from the blood through dialysis. Artificial kidney contain many semi-permeable tubes suspended in a tank filled with dialysing fluid. When patient's blood is passed through these tubes, the waste products from blood diffuses into dialysing fluid. The purified blood is pumped back into the patient. This is similar to the function of kidney, but there is no reabsorption involved. Okay. Now organ donation. What is it? This is transplanted kidney. This is diseased kidney. This person had some issues in his kidneys, so he has got one kidney from a donor. Many people can donate their organ or tissue regardless of age or gender, regardless of age or gender. Transplantation is required when recipient's organ has been damaged or failed by disease or injury. In organ transplantation, the organ is surgically removed from one person, transplanted to another person. Most organ and tissue donations occur just after death or brain death of donor, but some organs and tissues can be donated while the donor is alive, like a kidney. People can live with one kidney also, so one can be donated without any issue. Now let us see excretion in plants. How do plants get rid of their waste products? Oxygen is formed as a waste product of photosynthesis. O2, CO2 and excess water are removed by transpiration. Transpiration is the process, okay, of removal of oxygen, carbon dioxide and excess water from the plants. Many other waste products are stored in vacuoles. Waste products may be stored in leaves that fall off. Okay. Some waste products are stored as resins and gums, especially in old xylem. Okay. And plants also excrete some waste substances into the soil around them. So we are done basically with this chapter. So this was a long chapter and we discussed almost all the life processes that take place in animals, plants and human beings like us. So this chapter holds good amount of weightage and I encourage students to read it multiple times in order to get it a clear-cut picture of this chapter and to grasp it completely. Like first read it through NCERT, then refer Lakshmi Singh, Manjit Kaur and watch some videos on YouTube from good content creators and solve maximum questions from this chapter. Do previous year questions also to see what was the pattern and keep practicing multiple questions from this chapter in order to, get a grasp of it and keep revising. This chapter is what I would recommend to students. The more you revise, the better you get for this chapter. So we ended this chapter with learning the excretion in plants and humans. Okay, and okay, we have understood all this. I'm just going through it once more. Before excretion, we also completed the transportation in plants, the last part, that how food and other minerals are transported in the plants. So pretty much sums up the chapter. Good chapter, scoring chapter, and I encourage students to do multiple revisions of this chapter in order to gain clear-cut understanding and to grasp all the concepts of this chapter. I wish the students all the best, and I hope these video series that I made on life process were useful for the students. Thanks a lot.